So the Louisville Metro Police have started termination proceedings against Brett Hankerson. He's one of the 3 officers who opened fire on Breonna Taylor's apartment. He's accused of firing blindly 10 rounds into her apartment and creating a substantial danger of death and serious injury. Is this a step in the right direction, or should the other officers, I already know the answer to this question, should the other officers be charged? That's a big yes.
All of them went in there recklessly.
Yeah, fact.
Her life is now, you know, she lost her life behind this, and it just, the arrogance of them, the way they broke the law, and then to go in there, like you said, he shot rounds blindly, like, no, all of them need to go down, you know, all of them.
And what is the reasoning behind why it is taking so long for us to even get to this point? Like, you know, same situation as George Floyd, same situation as Ahmaud Arbery, same situation, not the exact same, but still there was a death. So why are we not getting to the bottom of hers? And I think about everything, and the common denominator is the fact that all the rest of them were men and she was a woman. Are we in a predicament where we're not paying attention to her because she's a Black woman? You know what I'm saying? We already know that we're at a lack in this country. So
we are.
Is this because of that? You know what I'm saying? Why haven't we really paid attention to this? What is the reason?
I believe the reason why you're seeing so many incidents now is because of the camera.
Right.
And that camera don't lie.
But why aren't we doing her? Why aren't we paying attention to her, Vivica?
Well,
it's been 3 months, it's been 3 months.
On it. So you're thinking that the reason why Breonna Taylor isn't getting as much exposure as the other crimes is because she was a female?
No, because she's a Black woman. You know, well, I'm just biased on a lot of stuff, but it's very fishy. Why is, I mean, if Black women, you know, there's a whole thing out there about Black women that go to the doctor's office, they don't pay attention to us, they don't treat us fairly. Like, that's a whole thing. There's studies behind that. But isn't it peculiar that here's a Black woman and a frontline worker at that?
Right.
Yeah.
So we're not jumping to investigation behind this after all that we've seen and gone through. Why is her case still lingering like this? This is nuts.
I was frozen, guys. So we're talking about Breonna Taylor, right?
Yeah. Right.
I feel the same way, SYLEENA. I feel like although we had George Floyd that really facilitated and pushed it on through, you know what I mean? Now our fight is not over. We're not finished. We're not done. Actually, we're just starting. And I feel you. Now it's like, switch over here to Breonna because I heard that one of the policemen got right. So they only are slow because they thinking our momentum is going to die down because we got a little bit of justice. So we're gonna be satisfied like we used to be 100 years ago. You know what I mean? And so now we're like, no, that's just the one thing. Now we pushing that back and it's like full steam ahead. That's why it's so important to keep going. But I feel you. I feel like we need to say her name now just as much as we said George Floyd's name.
Yes.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we want to talk more about this because I do think it's a complete double standard, the amount of outrage. We'll be back with more Cocktails with Queens when we come back. Welcome back to Cocktails with Queens with Vivica A. Fox, SYLEENA Johnson, and LISARAYE. Now we have been having a conversation about Breonna Taylor and why the hell has she not been getting the same amount of outrage as we've all given to the other murders of Black men? Are Black women being marginalized? Are Black women's deaths being kind of pushed to the back burner? Let's continue this conversation about this. SYLEENA, you had a point to make.
Well, I just thought about, like, before we went to break, we were speaking about, her being a Black woman. Is that an issue? Is that, a thing when it comes to this? But then I thought too, when George Floyd was murdered, he was connected to some very famous people, and Jamie Foxx came down and spoke on his behalf, and NBA players and things of that nature, which kind of enhanced the eyes and you know what I'm saying, the press around it because of who was kind of tied to it. Because if you remember Ahmaud Arbery, it took 3 months for them to even, he
was dead.
Exactly. It took 3 months for them to really get into the case of his death, which was a clear-cut murder. And if had it not been for the video that came out about him, we wouldn't have ever heard about Ahmaud Arbery.
So maybe we don't have a video of Breonna.
And maybe that too. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the outrage of visually being able to connect yourself with the actual murder is an even more outrage. You know what I'm saying? And it really has. You have to be accountable. And I think they think they're slick. You know what I'm saying? Also kind of like what LiSARAYE was saying, they think they slick because, oh, we don't have no video, we have no evidence, maybe we can hide. Because Sean King even showing on his report, the report that they had on her death was like blank. Like no
injuries reported.
No injuries, like a fool.
We got some viewer comments real quick. K Girl 40 says they changed the whole law on her behalf, but her murderer is still free, shaking my damn head.
Right.
Levon says, no-knock warrants should be abolished on a federal level. And Troy 21 says, right, it's not fair. Her case isn't getting as much push. Her case happened 3 months ago. And Teresa Marlene says they're trying to hide behind that no-knock law that was on the books at the time. This is a drug case. It's not a murder case. They were looking for someone in a drug case. That's not, like I said, I could see kidnapping, murder. You think someone might have someone hostage. That's a reason to do a no-knock warrant. But a drug case?
Yeah.
Get the hell
Why
out of
are
here.
you shooting anyway? Why are you shooting anyway in a drug case? That's a fool right there.
Because they wanted them so bad because they're so busy trying to pin whatever they can on us to get us into the system where they can make more money till that's why. And because they didn't have no camera, that's what they're trying to hide behind.
And the person that they were looking for was already in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, do your job. You know what's funny? If any of us on this Zoom, on the show, made a mistake in our taxes, they'd be on us. But they make mistakes that lead to the murder and death of a woman, a frontline worker. And then it's like, we got to beg them to do their damn job to get justice. Imagine any of us could be in our homes right now and someone is looking for someone next door or someone that's already in custody can blast in, guns blazing. The boyfriend shot back. They try to get him for attempted murder.
I know.
Why do we never hear these cases with white folks? Never. We never hear them.
Right.
Yeah, well, they steady talking about we doing black on black crime, but we never hear about white on white crime. Why? Because white on white crime is just crime.
Y'all see the one where the guy took the baton from the police woman and man, beat them with it, got in their car, drove off. One was running. It was like not one shot fired, not a taser came out. Now, they were like, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble. Stop resisting. And it was like, so it's so clear that there's such a difference till we are appalled that you are thinking that we're that crazy to not see the difference.
Well, they took the one boy that shot up the church. They took him to Burger King and said, yeah, why don't you get a sandwich for killing everybody? We're going to give you a sandwich. And
how you get a murderer and then talk about have it your way? You want some onion rings? Like, what the hell are y'all doing? This is some bullshit. Like, if that's not a slap, they are lucky that black people are not as savage as they are. Because they're savages. The way they treat us, the way you murder people, you pray with them, and then murk everybody in the church, and then you go to Burger King. Meanwhile, we getting murdered for jaywalking. We getting murdered for having a wallet in our hands. We get murdered for having a tail light that's busted. They out of damn control.